Hey, that was a long pause, it looks like.
Yeah. Well,
We got the head fake from our computer.
I know. Sorry about that. And I was just like admiring Tony's shirt and thinking how these colors kind of work well together. But anyway.
Hey, THQ, the hardest question, Tony Jones, Russell Rathbun, and Ordinary 15.
Yeah,
Ordinary 15. So Jesus often spoke parabolically,
Yes, he did.
but only one time does he explain his parable.
Yeah, and it's an in-depth explanation.
Which is why when I was a youth pastor, I often gave talks on this parable. Because it's what's funny is it's maybe the parable that's least needing explication.
It really
like it's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. So what?
Like the seed, like the shallow
Yeah.
soil, and the weeds, and
Right,
it's
yeah.
not that hard.
It's not sophisticated, no, at all.
But it's the one he chooses to explain. And also what's, as you and I tend to do, we get a little ornery about what the lectionary constructors left out, which is
Yeah.
Jesus saying, I speak in parables so that people won't understand me.
Right, exactly. Why they? And I mean, lectionaries. I mean, please. Why now?
An
for all
open letter
yes.
to the people who put together the lectionary.
What is it about this ordinary time that 5 weeks in a row we get? I call them skippies.
Yeah.
That you're leaving out a middle part that seems, I don't know, like it would be helpful in understanding what the whole pericope is
Right,
about.
like are you questioning Matthew's editorial abilities?
Or you're just like, oh, this is way too long. What can we take out? I mean, that doesn't.
It seems
yeah.
to be a little more politically motivated
It seems a
than
little
that
bit more
most of the
politically
time.
Motivated, yeah. So let's leave out the part where Jesus says he's trying to confuse people because he doesn't think they will ever understand. So he's going to talk so they won't understand, and then that way they will, I don't know.
So should we preach like that?
We'll just leave out the middle part of our sermon.
Or just preach parabolically in such
Yeah.
a way because you don't really want the people to understand. That's
Yeah.
not the goal of
Right.
Jesus giving these sayings, is for people to understand.
I think that you should try it and let us know how that works. But one other thing I do want to ask about this text
Yeah.
is, again, I mean, I'm sorry if I always default to this thing where God is a God of grace and mercy who is always coming to us in love and transforming us, and any action that springs out of love in us is always a gift from God. That's just where I come from. So,
Okay.
who's blaming the seeds here?
Or this, yeah.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So the gardener spills some seed on some bad soil. Why punish the seed?
Yeah, because if God is the sower,
Right.
which you would assume,
Right.
then
The seed has no.
well, then I guess this parable falls neatly into the predestination Calvinist
Totally.
camp.
Yeah.
Right? Like God knows
Yeah.
what God's doing.
Right.
And he decides to waste some seed.
Yeah. I think that's another text.
There's some in the Old Testament about wasting seed, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah. Again, why is it the seed? Maybe that's a reference, this seed sowing, planting, that there are people.
Now you're
Yeah.
getting like
Yeah.
Augustinian on us, like
Right.
going for the pure allegorical read
right.
of the text. I like that.
This is the seed, and God's seed, and some is planted in not that fertile a soil. I don't know.
I'm just going to let you keep
Okay,
going with that.
okay.
I'm not gonna
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to say is, it just points to the seeds being human agents, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like being thought of as just a seed that gets thrown on the soil, and because
Yeah.
even the seed has no agency.
No, not at all.
A seed
Yeah.
doesn't do
Yeah.
anything.
No.
It's like whether the seed gets in good soil and whether the seed gets enough
It's
water.
like the
and whether
belligerent seed. I'm going to stay in this rocky soil. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
That's where I would
I'm going to just let
choose.
that weed choke me out.
Yeah, that's what I'm. No. So I don't know what you do with that.
Boy, that is a tougher text than.
Yeah.
It's funny that I always defaulted to it as a youth worker because it was pretty clear.
Right.
But dig a little deeper.
Hey. So let us know how you're going to preach this, and yeah, we'd love to hear it.